Finally, at long last, Intellivision is getting its due. Is it everything we hoped for? Not really, but it's pretty damn good. Let's take a look. Hey everybody, Mike from Mike's Gaming Gala here, and we've got some exciting news from Atari. This is going to be my kind of initial thoughts, my initial reaction to it. If you want to see more in-depth, you can tune in this Tuesday live at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast. We're going to be talking all about this brand new news. But right now, I just want to kind of absorb what we've gotten. Intellivision fans for a long time, ever since Atari acquired the brand and released the 2600 Plus, we've been clamoring, we've been wanting an Intellivision Plus. And, you know, something we can put our cartridges in, and it would be compatible with everything. And this isn't quite that. But those of you who know me know that I have been saying for a long time that the 2600 Plus systems, the 7800 Plus, Pac-Man Plus, need the ability to play ROMs. The big weakness is the cartridge dumper there. The emulator is fine. So with this new news, the Intellivision Sprint, it is much more in line with like the Mini 400, the 400, in that it is a ROM system. It is made to play ROMs. Now, when I've been telling Atari over and over again, give us the ability to put our own ROMs on your systems, I didn't mean at the expense of a cartridge slot, but I understand why this is what they're doing, at least first. I do believe that probably within the next year or two, we will get something with a cartridge slot. But the big thing that any Intellivision system needs to have is the ability to play JLP games. A lot of homebrews nowadays are JLP homebrews, which means that they can only be played on either an original Intellivision or on the JZIN-TV emulator. It's on the reason to own an Intellivision nowadays is the homebrew community. There are some fantastic games that are JLP games like Anthropomorphic Force, TNT Cowboy, Star Mercenary, Police to Avenue Redux, Pandora Incident, Operation Cloudfire. You know, these games require that. And the great thing about this new Intellivision Sprint is that it is JLP compatible. It will be compatible with every ROM that you can throw at it. So, you know, no longer do you have to worry about, I don't have it with me here, but you no longer have to worry about, oh, is my multi-cart compatible with this ROM? Oh, do I need the LTO flash, or can I use my back bit or my RTO? ROMs will just work on this thing. It is running a version of JZIN-TV, and if you needed any more proof that this thing should be able to run absolutely every game with no issues, the fact that Atari is going to be releasing that USB with 4 homebrew games on it, and one of them is TNT Cowboy, which is a JLP game, and a fantastic one. If you don't own TNT Cowboy, you need to get that USB or buy a physical copy. So the fact that it can play ROMs, I think, makes it so much more accessible. I would really like a cartridge slot. I'm sure that is coming in the future, but that's not what this is, and that's okay. Cartridge slot costs more, and also they would have to figure out the architecture to be able to dump the ROM, because this is an emulator system, and everything that Atari ever does will be an emulator system. They're not going to make an FPGA. I'm almost certain of that. But the fact that they have to figure out, and it is doable, but figure out how to dump the ROM from a JLP cart, because JLP carts have encryption. They have protection so that they can't be dumped. There is a way around that. Atari will probably figure that out with the help of Joe Zbishak, I'm sure. And in the future, I am positive we'll get an Intellivision Plus. And that one might not have an SD card slot or USB slot where you can put games. Especially now, people who get this console, they're going to be able to buy ROMs from Electronite. They're going to be able to buy ROMs from Homebrew Inc., from Intellivision Collector, from Intellivision.us, from Brian's Man Cave, from anywhere that you can find them. And they should all work just fine on this system. And that is fantastic. Whenever I mentioned the ability to play ROMs on the Plus systems, I always get comments of people saying, well, I want a system that plays carts. I like to play carts. Adding functionality to your system that will broaden the appeal does not mean that you can no longer play carts on those systems. When an Intellivision Plus comes out, I honestly still believe that they should retain the ability to have external media. So what does this mean? First impressions, Atari has purchased from Homebrew Inc. Yar's Revenge, Caverns of Mars, and they have purchased from Electronite Miner 2049er. So for Yar's Revenge and Caverns of Mars, if you were hoping to get a physical copy of that from Homebrew Inc., your time has passed. You will have to buy one on the black market on eBay. Atari may, honestly, probably, at some point will release physical copies of those games, I have no doubt. But until that happens, you cannot buy them anymore from Homebrew Inc. Homebrew Inc. does not own those two games. Miner 2049er, Electronite has a license to be able to still sell physical copies. So you can still get a copy of Miner 2049er from Electronite. And TNT Cowboy, which is included on that USB, is licensed to Atari. So Electronite, again, will still be able to sell their physical copies of TNT Cowboy. But now you can get it and play it on your Intellivision Sprint from Atari as well, as a ROM. So, I mean, is it everything that we could have possibly wanted? No. I understand why they went this route, and I think it's a smart route. If you have any interest in Intellivision, I am not sponsored by Atari, by the way. Atari does not give me a cent. They have never sent me any product, nothing. But I will say this, if you are an Intellivision fan, if you have even a passing interest in the Intellivision, if you have an interest in Homebrew, consider supporting this. It's not like I'll be pre-ordering this. This is, with the Pac-Man Plus, I didn't bother. But I will definitely be supporting this. Because I want Atari to know that, yes, there's a market for Intellivision. There's great things coming out for the Intellivision. The original library has some great games in it. It's not, I don't think it's the strongest library of the second gen, but it is not a bad library. There are some great games there. I've heard people say that it absolutely sucks. It doesn't. But the Homebrew. Look through my channel. Click on that Intellivision playlist. I have reviewed some absolutely incredible Intellivision homebrews. And now, for the ones that you can get ROMs for, especially in this day and age where, the cost over the last year of an Intellivision homebrew has skyrocketed. Not the least of which because a lot of the best ones are coming from Canada or from outside the United States. I just mailed a couple Intellivision games to somebody in the US, and the duty was $40 on top of the shipping. You know, right now, I imagine ROMs are going to be a lot easier to acquire than physical copies of games. So this, honestly, at this point in time, I think the Intellivision Sprint is the right thing to do. I think it's a great step for Atari. I think the Intellivision community should support it, but that is not an endorsement. I'm never going to tell anybody what to do, but consider it. Because I think it's a great move from Atari. I think if we can prove to them that the Intellivision is a viable brand that can sell some consoles, that they'll come out with that Intellivision Plus, that version with a cartridge slot, which I think they will. I do honestly think they will. But let's give them no doubt. Let's show them that, yes, for something that actually comes out, I know there's been some really damn dark days for the Intellivision. Those are behind us now, hopefully. And with this, I do feel pretty good that the Intellivision brand is in good hands with Atari. Atari is finally doing something with it. I'm happy about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It is a lot more than we've gotten for the last however many years. And I think it is great. I love my 400 Mini. I play lots of ROMs on my 400 Mini, including some homebrews. And it is a great little system for that. And I have zero doubt that this will too. So, thanks for watching. Like I said, not a lot of details, not a lot of anything like that, deep dive. Just initial thoughts. I like the idea of this. I'm definitely going to support it. And if you want to see further thoughts and a deep dive on it, we will be talking about it on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live talking about that. So tune in for that, and thanks for watching, guys. Take care.